Hi, my name is April, and today I'll be presenting my survey results and recommendations to improve the curbside pickup experience. First, a brief overview of what we'll be covering today. We'll start off with the purpose of the research, discuss previous research, go over the method used, quickly review research questions, transition to results and recommendations, conclude with a summary of findings, discuss next steps, and finally end with a reflection of the process. These titles will be available to reference on the right side of the slides to keep track of where we are in the presentation. The purpose of this research is to better understand and develop ways to improve the curbside pickup experience for customers. Curbside pickup was created as a more convenient way to shop, since customers can order at home and don't need to go into the store. Another benefit of curbside is its efficiency. Customers can avoid having to walk around the store searching for items and don't need to stand in checkout lines. Lastly, although curbside has been offered years before COVID, its recent popularity stems from the benefit of minimizing contact as a safer way to shop during the COVID pandemic. This survey research aims to answer the design question, how might we improve order delivery efficiency and communication during pickup in order to improve the curbside pickup experience for shoppers? My previous research included field observation and interviews. I started with field observation, which concluded that efficient order delivery, clear communication, and ability to specify order placement were three areas that could be improved to better the curbside pickup experience. While field observation gave me good, undisrupted data, it was limited because it didn't allow me to see the underlying rationale behind customer decisions. To better understand the decision rationale, interviews were conducted with 3 participants and confirmed that efficient order delivery and clear communication were important to curbside shoppers, and also added that establishing trust through a good first experience is essential, since all 3 participants noted that due to a poor first experience, they would not be returning to that business to use curbside, quote, ever again. While interviews gave insight to customers' thoughts, it was limited because it only consists of 3 participants. This is where surveys, the third research piece, comes in. These surveys will help validate previous findings through a larger number of responses and give a better general consensus on how curbside pickup could be improved. The survey was distributed using Google Forms because it's very accessible since it doesn't require an account for participants to answer. The survey consisted of multiple choice, rank, Likert scale, and short answer questions. For this survey, there were 20 participants who were either friends or friends of friends with any socioeconomic background, ethnicity, or gender. The participants must have used curbside pickup with at least 2 different businesses so they could answer pros and cons of the different experiences. This stipulation was filtered through a screening question on the survey, and only 1 participant's answers were removed because they had only used curbside with 1 business. And as a quick review of the research questions that guided this survey, the first is, how important is efficiency to customers when using curbside pickup? What's the maximum wait time customers are willing to wait after arriving? Are customers comfortable with sharing their location with the store to increase pickup efficiency? What method of communication do customers prefer? Are signs in the parking lot effective communication points? What contact points do customers prefer to be automated versus manual, i.e. sharing location with the store for automated arrival notification or manually clicking "I'm here" when they arrive? For our first result, the survey showed that most customers preferred to be contacted through text if their order is delayed. Out of the 19 counted participants, 17 stated that they prefer text over in-app notifications, email, or phone call, while only 1 participant answered for in-app notification and phone call. This is interesting to compare to expected wait time after arrival because the previous interview study determined that a long, unexpected wait time caused participants to never want to return to that business's curbside service again. This chart indicates the average expected wait time for customers is between 3 and 7 minutes, which means that it's in the business's best interest to stay within this threshold. This result, combined with the previous interview results, implies that if there are order delays, customers prefer to be contacted via text so that they can plan accordingly and wait to pick up their orders instead of going to the store expecting their order to be ready and end up waiting a long time. Some participants also noted that they prefer this method because they're most likely to read text notifications over other notifications. They're more likely to answer texts rather than check notifications from apps. And lastly, that they block unknown calls and don't want to miss order updates due to that. With this result in mind, the recommendation is to send text updates to customers if their order is delayed. Customers can account for delays and better plan when to leave their house and minimize wait time. This will allow the curbside pickup time to stay within that 3 to 7 minute threshold even if there's an order delay. Customers can choose to opt into this feature at checkout by clicking the bubble next to Text Me Order Updates. The example alert says, "We're sorry, it looks like there's a slight delay in fulfilling your order. Your order will be 20 minutes late and your new pickup time is 5:30 p.m. This lets the customer know how late their order is and they can plan accordingly. Result 2 shows that 83% of customers who chose app ordering as their preferred method to place a curbside order are comfortable with sharing their location during the pickup process. 67% of this same group also indicated that location sharing is their preferred method of indicating they've arrived for their order pickup. Location sharing is currently only offered in apps, since other methods such as email or text links don't have permission to continuously share location. So this result implies that customers who prefer to use the app to order are also the most comfortable with using location sharing because they're more likely to have used or at least seen this feature before. The recommendation for result 2 is to always offer location sharing for in-app orders. This feature should not be required because 17% of customers stated they would not be comfortable using location sharing, so the option to opt out is crucial to keep this 17% of customers happy as well. Customers would be prompted to share location at the end of their checkout with a disclaimer reassuring customers that their location will stop being shared after their pickup is complete. There is also a skip button for customers who don't feel comfortable using this feature. Result number 3 is that all customers who prefer ordering from a website ranked text link as their first or second choice method to indicate arrival. Here, we can see that none of these participants named text link as a third or fourth choice. Additionally, it's interesting to note that none of these participants ranked calling the store/restaurant their go-to choice of contact. Of the people who ranked calling as their second choice, a text link was still their first choice method. Customers who order online prefer using a text link to communicate arrival, and since none of these participants chose phone call as their first choice, this implies that customers who prefer online ordering tend to avoid human interaction even if it's not physical contact. The recommendation for this result is to offer text links for customers to use when they arrive. In this example screen, we can see that the link is clearly identifiable because of the blue hyperlink color, and the text is concise and mentions the curbside order, so the customer can easily identify the text and keep it on hand instead of possibly ignoring it as spam. Referencing findings from the interview study, participants mentioned that this was their preferred method to indicate arrival because the link is not easily lost compared to emails and doesn't require them to remember where to go in an app to indicate arrival. In this order of priority, the 3 results from this survey study are 1. To send order updates, specifically about delays, via text, and 2. To offer location sharing as an optional feature in the app, and 3. To send a text link to customers who order online to indicate arrival. The results are prioritized in this order because text updates have the highest impact according to the survey results, since 90% of all participants named text as their preferred method of contact for order delays. Location sharing is prioritized second because it contributes to efficient order delivery, which was a recommendation from both the previous studies. Text link is third because it's simply a preferred method of contact. Continuing research on improving the curbside pickup experience, I would like to research what concerns customers have with location sharing, such as privacy concerns or otherwise. I would also like to look into the business end of Curbside to improve efficiency or organization during order fulfillment in order to minimize unexpected long wait times and improve order fulfillment and delivery speed for the customer. Lastly, if I were to do this survey study again, I would write more focused questions because my questions touched on order delivery speed, order placement method, indicate arrival method, signage in the parking lots, all of which were difficult to connect during analysis. Instead, I would like to focus on one of these areas at a time and get more detailed data. I would also want to ask the participant age at the beginning of the survey because I think it would be interesting to see how that may impact preferences. The limitations of this study were its small sample size of 20 participants, all of which came from the Pacific Northwest region, so this data can't be accurately applied to other regions. The hardest part of this process was working with Google Sheets because sometimes it wouldn't work, even though I copied and pasted from a different graph that was working. It was also difficult to come up with implications because my questions were so disconnected subject-wise. A surprise was that 90% of customers agreed that texting is the best method of contact for order delays. I never would have expected any statistic from this study to be so polarized. A fun part of this study was designing the recommended mockups and this presentation. I'm especially proud of the table of contents on the right side of the slides. Thank you for viewing my presentation on improving the curbside pickup experience.